Welcome to the Unit 3 discussion of Week 5. In this unit, we will try to delve deeper into the other kind of assessment item, which is a supply type assessment item. So, the unit outcome is we will try to discuss various types of constructed response question, and we will also try to see that how do we design good quality marking scheme for each of these kinds of questions. So, I will use constructed response question, open-ended question, supply type question, sometimes interchangeably, but please understand that they mean the same. So, what do we mean by constructed response question? So, first is we know that in these questions we do not provide a set of options and student is not required to select the right option out of the given option. Instead, student is generating their own answers. Responses are not selected from the given option. So, probably if you have a class of 40 students, all 40 students can have very different kind of responses because you're not giving some 4 options to them, right? They are constructing their response on their own. So, what are students expected to do? Students are expected to construct the response, sometimes explain, also provide some justification in their own words. Answers can be sometimes very short or they can be extended. It can be written, it can also be numerical, sometimes there can be some proofs, sometimes students are also expected to draw diagrams. So, all these are constructed response questions. So, such questions are especially very useful to encourage higher order thinking skills such as critical thinking, conceptual understanding and problem solving skills. And we also know that such kind of questions has a very important place in the domain of outcome based education. So, we know that in outcome based education, we focus on what students can do after completing a course, right? And how do we define these outcomes? We define these outcomes in terms of course outcomes and also program outcomes. So, assessment basically must help to assess the attainment of these outcomes, right? The course outcomes and also program outcomes. Okay. So, what kind of assessments will help assess the course outcomes in a more comprehensive manner? If we end up using only multiple choice questions, probably our assessments will not be so valid. Probably we will not be able to assess the course outcomes in a more comprehensive manner. And therefore, it is important to use constructed response question because it helps us assess higher order skills of apply, analyze, evaluate and create, which is one of the key aspect of outcome based education. Now that we understand the importance of constructed response question in an outcome based education setup, let us try to understand that how is the nature of such questions in the current context. So, it has been observed that a significant proportion of questions continue to focus on lower order cognitive skills such as recall and basic understanding, and higher order thinking skills are quite underrepresented in many question papers. So, such kind of a practice basically creates a misalignment between the assessment practices and the course outcomes and the program outcomes. So, essentially we are trying to say that we are not doing assessments which are valid in nature because we are not assessing what we intend to assess. Okay. So, in these question papers, we might observe that students have performing well, okay, but it shows a gaps in higher order competencies expected by the employers that are better aligned with the real world problems because students are never assessed on those competencies. So, even though student has scored very high marks in the examination, but that examination paper only restricts the assessment of lower order thinking skills. So, how do we how do we ensure that students' high marks is actually representing the attainment of all the course outcomes for a course. And we know that most of the course outcomes are from higher order thinking skills. Okay. So, having said this, now we will try to see that how constructed response questions can be designed in a very many manner and how it can lead to valid, reliable and fair assessment of students' competencies. So, we will discuss a few types of constructed response question the way we did for multiple choice questions. So, we will discuss conceptual and analytical, calculation, derivation, design oriented, case based, diagram based and code based question. So, coming to the first kind of question, which is conceptual and analytical question, let us see one example. So, the course outcome is analyze and explain the behavior of DC circuits using fundamental electrical laws. Okay. So, we know that the cognitive level addressed by this course outcome is analyze. Now, suppose we have a question which says that a student observes that two different DC circuits, each containing the same voltage source and the total resistance, draw different currents. Explain how this situation is possible by referring to circuit configuration and current distribution. Now, see, this is a constructed response question and student actually need to understand certain principles, certain laws to be able to respond to this particular question correctly. So, this cannot be responded through merely recall. So, this is assessing students' analytical abilities. Okay, but for such question, we also need to focus on designing a very comprehensive marking scheme to ensure reliability. Okay, so basically, if we have a very comprehensive marking scheme, it will lead to consistency in the marking, and at the same time, it will help us assess what we intend to assess, because all the criteria of the assessment will be listed down in the marking scheme. For example, in this question, a few criteria can be if the student is able to identify the circuit configuration that if you have series versus parallel or different kind of an arrangement, then probably it can affect circuit behavior, and you have basically mentioned that 1 mark is allocated to this. Then the second criteria is conceptual explanation of the current behavior. And the third is application of electrical laws such as Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law or equivalent principles in explanation. So, all the criteria is specifically mentioned, and the description is basically adding to the comprehensiveness of the marking scheme. So, this is the first kind of a constructed response question, which is more conceptual and analytical in nature. Moving to the second kind of constructed response question, which is calculation question. Now, in all our engineering subjects, we have many questions which require certain calculation. Okay. Now, the course outcome is analyze internal fluid flow systems and evaluate energy losses using fluid mechanics principles. The cognitive level is analyze. Now, in this question, we know that probably students are expected to compare alternatives, and it also requires some numerical computation plus some interpretation. So, student must make an engineering kind of a decision and not just compute values. So, the focus is not on assessment of procedural skills, merely procedural skills, but also if a student is able to take some engineering decisions or not, and also justify those decisions. Okay. So, you have a question, it has a lot of known values, and student is probably expected to calculate the head loss due to friction for both pipe options, estimate the power and analyze and justify which pipe diameter should be selected. So, you see, it is not only about calculation, it is also about justifying the design choices, which is one of the very important skill needed for to become a very good engineer. Now, for this kind of a question also, we should have a very detailed marking scheme, wherein we know that how much marks we are giving to the different steps, how much marks are we allocating to the right answer. For example, here certain criteria are: if a student is able to identify the data and the assumptions, if a student is able to calculate the head loss for both the options, if a student is able to estimate the pump power, then make some comparative analysis and take some decisions. So, these are criteria, and also the marks are allocated to it. So, we know that this question is of 6 marks, but how those 6 marks are distributed across different criteria, that is very well explained through this marking scheme. The next kind of constructed response question is derivation question. Okay. Now, you see in this particular template what I am showing you, the course outcomes, the program outcomes are specifically mentioned along with the question. So, what is the merit of this approach? The merit is that basically we are able to confidently say that the question is a valid question, because if we are constantly assessing our question with respect to the course outcome and the program outcome, we can confidently say, yes, I am probably assessing what I intend to assess. Now, in this question, student is expected to derive the equation of motion for a simple pendulum of length L and mass m, assuming small angular displacement. Show that it exhibits simple harmonic motion and find the expression for its natural frequency. Okay. Now, in this case, probably what all are we trying to assess? Probably we are seeing if the student is able to demonstrate the understanding of dynamic principles, ability to perform a derivation, and also calculate natural frequency. So, again we can see that this is outcome based kind of a question. And along with this question also, we need to have a marking scheme. Let us see the marking scheme for this question. So, this is a 5 marker question, and what are the criteria? The criteria is if a student is able to understand the problem. So, I think the ability to comprehend the problem, what is being asked in the question, is also something that needs to be assessed. Okay. The derivation of the equation also has 2 marks, identification of SHM, and then the calculation of the natural frequency. So, through this particular criteria, if suppose a teacher has say 100 students in the class, and teacher is assessing and evaluating these 100 students' responses, if we have a marking scheme, so our evaluation will be more objective in nature, and whatever biases we have, those biases can be eliminated. The next kind of question is case based question, and we will see that which particular course outcome and which particular program outcome is being assessed by this case based question. But first, let us look into the case. Now, this is from the data structures and programming domain. And you see that the case that is being given is also very relevant to the real world. So, basically through this kind of a question, we are trying to assess if the student is able to engage with a real world kind of a scenario, and then if a student is able to demonstrate the skills and the ability to make decisions and not just memorizing some concepts. So, if you read the case, it says that a startup is developing an online bookstore. They need a system to manage their book inventory. Whatever criteria are required for the system is basically mentioned. The system should efficiently add new books, search for books, delete books, display all the books, and the inventory can have thousands of books. So, performance is important. Okay. So, as a software engineer, you need to design a solution for managing the book inventory using an appropriate data structure. Justify your choice. see, the justification of the choice is very important. Taking some decision is important, but how do you justify your design choices is a equally important competency for an engineer. So justify your choice of data structures and write pseudocode to implement adding a book, searching for a book by title, and deleting a book. Also analyze the time complexity of your operations. Now, such question is probably assessing multiple course outcomes. So, the way you were seeing that the examples which we have seen so far, the questions were assessing single course outcome, but you can see that here through such questions, a case-based question, you can actually assess multiple course outcomes. So, here this question is assessing 3 different course outcomes. Now, for such question also we need to have a very detailed marking scheme where you write all the criteria, you divide the marks for those criteria, and then also try to write some description. The next kind of question is design oriented question. Okay. Again, across all our subjects we have many such kind of question. Now, this is from the analog topic chapter, and the course outcome is design and implement analog circuits for measurement, signal conditioning and control applications in real world engineering systems. Okay. The cognitive level for this question is create. And what is the expectation from the question? So, basically it says that a company wants to design a temperature monitoring system for a chemical plant. The system should measure temperature, provide an analog voltage output. The third is trigger an LED indicator if the temperature exceeds 70 degrees Celsius. Okay. So, basically the student is required to draw the complete circuit diagram. So, basically see there are certain criteria given, and if a student is able to draw a circuit diagram, probably the create cognitive level is being assessed, and also student has to explain that how this circuit diagram will work. The next kind of question is code based questions. So, what you are seeing is for C programming, and again I would request that instead of having very conventional kind of programming questions which are there from the textbook, probably we can move one level higher where we describe a case and probably student is expected to write a program for that case. So, in this case you can see that a university wants to develop a student grade management system. The system should store student details, calculate the total marks and percentage for each student, determine the grade based on the percentage, display a list of all students with name, roll number, total, percentage and grade. Now, you see again this kind of a scenario is very relevant for all of us. So, how about giving such a scenario and then expecting students to write a code? So, again the instructions are very clearly laid down that a student can write a program using a language. Okay. Student needs to use an array or list to store multiple students, and then include functions or methods for calculating total and percentage, assigning grades and displaying student details. Now, again this kind of a question can assess the attainment of course outcomes which belong to a very high cognitive level. So, you can see that the course outcome for this particular question is develop and implement programs using fundamental programming constructs, data structures and functions to solve real world problems. And you can see that even we can break down these course outcomes, and even such kind of questions can assess multiple course outcomes. So, to summarize, we have seen a few types of constructed response questions in this unit. There can be many more. So, these were just certain ideas to help you design constructed response questions that are capable for assessing the course outcomes and in turn the program outcomes of the engineering discipline. In our next unit, we will try to understand that how do we design, or what are some of the criteria, some checklist principles for designing valid, reliable and fair constructed response question.